It's lights out and away we go.
Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast.
We are your hosts Harshit Das
And Ashish Panda.
It's a podcast on F1 motorsport.
We are gonna cover everything related to F1 world.
So sit back and enjoy listening to us.
This week my co-host is busy with some work, so he will be absent. So you all have to listen to me and hear me ranting on about the first official testing conducted by F1, which was totally filled with twists and turns and even new controversies came up. So let's get started. Before getting into the main highlights of the 3-day testing, I am gonna brief you on the standings of each day. First day, Pierre Gasly was on top with the fastest lap time. Most laps were covered by a driver was Sergio Perez, and most laps covered by a team was Red Bull. Then least laps covered by a driver was Fernando Alonso because of the lockup of the car due to overheating. And least laps covered by a team was Haas as they started their testing from the afternoon session. Second day, Kevin Magnussen took the fastest lap time beating Carlos Sainz because he had the fastest time in the afternoon session. But in the extended testing for Haas in the evening session, Kevin got the fastest time. He joined on Wednesday and on Friday he got the fastest time. That's an incredible underdog story. Is that a sign of a comeback maybe? We have to see that. Most laps covered by a driver was Yuki Tsunoda and team was Alpha Tauri. Then least laps covered by a driver was Nicholas Latifi and team was Williams due to the overheating of brakes leading to the explosion. That was a very tragic thing that we saw on the track, but Nicholas Latifi was in good condition, so it isn't a worry for them. Third day, Max Verstappen got the fastest time on the ultimate day. Most laps covered by a driver was Nicholas Latifi and the team was Alfa Romeo. Then least laps covered by a driver was Alex Albon and the least laps covered by a team was McLaren as Lando Norris' car stopped due to the engine issues and all. But overall, Ferrari had the highest laps and they performed really well without any issues. Throughout the 3 days of testing, Ferrari were the only team we didn't hear any kind of issues with them. And their porpoising issue was also reduced a lot. So Ferrari seems like a much more stronger team throughout this testing. Getting into the main highlight, Mercedes' aggressive sidepod design was the main topic on the first day. Many people had a different kind of views and none of the teams gave any kind of radical view that they are going to ban or anything. But only Red Bull's Christian Horner gave a view. This can be a rumor or something because Red Bull said it isn't an official statement and they are going to give a official statement, but it was a German news article. It said that Christian Horner said that they aren't happy with the design and they are going to talk with FIA to ban the design to be used in the F1 races. We have to see if it goes as per the Mercedes way or they have to totally redesign. And Ross Brown said that he didn't expect that the extreme regulation changes wouldn't work out because they expected that these kind of regulation changes will make the teams much more competitive because they won't be able to change anything throughout the season. But the way Mercedes interpreted and they got the aggressive sidepod design, this is way out of their expectation. And as per my opinion, the sidepods look sleek and bold because they aren't anymore wide and the aero of the car is totally working out as per the technical aspects that are provided by others. But in the last testing they had a great car which performed really well, but the main issue was porpoising. They get a new car which isn't even solving the issue of the porpoising and which may get into some other issues of engine and all. It hasn't come out in this testing, but if it comes out in the main races, then it's going to be a problem. So I don't know why Mercedes decided to take this gamble. Maybe they saw that Red Bull got a new sidepod design, but this one, Mercedes sidepods are beyond what Red Bull did because they nullified the whole sidepods. So no one knows that how the sidepods are going to work and how it will affect the F1 structural changes in the coming years, because as per the design of Mercedes, maybe after some time side pods are going to be null. There won't be any side pods in the F1 car. So we will have to see about that. Second thing that we saw on the first day, porpoising still exists. Even that existed throughout the second day and third day. Alpine, Mercedes and Alpha Tauri were worst affected. Even if people give a reason that Bahrain is a bumpy track and all, it doesn't mean that the way the cars were bouncing, it didn't seem like it was due to the track. We could see that the porpoising still existed. So these teams have to work a lot. Like I said, that Mercedes brought out a new car which isn't even solving the old issue. Then how are they gonna fight for a winning position in the main race? Then one of the major issues was reliability issues. There were overheating of brakes, engine lockups due to overheating, or power issues to the radiator, and even exhaust issues. Like overheating of brakes, Williams had it on the second day and the explosion happened. McLaren had the brake issues and they had to get new parts on the second day night to use it in third days to improve it, but it didn't even work out on the third day. Aston Martin had the issue of overheating of brakes on the first day. Engine lockups happened due to the overheating with Aston Martin on the second day. Williams of Nicholas Latifi stopped on turn 13, if I remember, and that was because of the power issues to the radiator. As much as I heard, it was due to some minor glitch that happened. But these reliability issues stay on even so much near to the main race, the first main race. Then we don't know how the cars are going to perform in the first race. It will be totally a surprise for us to see if everything goes flawless. Then another bummer for McLaren, like I would say, last testing was a total nightmare for Haas, and this time McLaren had a totally a nightmare testing because Daniel Ricciardo missed the first day and we got to know on the second day that he is COVID-19 positive. So it is speculated that Oscar Piastri by Alpine will be driving for McLaren, as Alpine has offered him to McLaren for the Bahrain race, as McLaren doesn't have any reserve drivers and they use the reserve drivers of Mercedes, and all the reserve drivers of Mercedes are unavailable. That standing start chaos happened. That F1 usually follows all the rules and regulations that are followed in the main race in the testings for drivers' familiarity. But on the second day, 15 minutes before the morning session was due to end, the red flag was brought out for an FIA restart test, even if no car issues were seen. After everyone returned to the pit lane, light turned green before immediately turning red again. Like some kind of confusion is going on. Teams were then told that the pretend race would resume and the cars were encouraged to head back to the starting grid for a standing start. The first formation lap was headed by Sebastian Vettel, Bottas, and then Leclerc. Even Max and George Russell were going to join them, but they messed up somehow and had to wait at the pit lane exit. As a result, FIA conducted another formation lap, but this time Bottas' car stopped on the track and an actual red flag came out. So with this, the session not resuming, they didn't get their standing start. And then on the ultimate day, after 48 hours of testing and 6,100 laps, everyone tried to get as much laps possible. But the main highlight on that day was the Red Bull's new improvements on their side pods. Like they were waiting, Mercedes will get their new design, then they are also going to take the limelight from Mercedes on the third day, on the final day, and become the main topic throughout this week till the main race. The changes that happened with side pods, floor, and the front wing was on the side pods. The Oracle logo was sculpted a little bit inward due to their new channel, which formed the arrow to open in the cock bottle area of the floor, and it is said that it is improving the aerodynamics of the car. With that, they also have an increased rake that is higher than any of the cars with a lowered floor, which is expected that it will solve the porpoising issue totally. So we can see that AlphaTauri, who were also affected really badly, can improve because of this redesign. Next, we are going to talk about the Hamilton's interview. He said that he isn't expecting Mercedes car is going to win races initially, but maybe with time progresses, they are going to make improvements and the car may perform really well. My co-host had a view over this, that even if the pecking order isn't clear, Mercedes definitely don't look as powerful they were expected to be. And concerns arising that George Russell and Lewis Hamilton told that they aren't fighting for wins at the moment, even after Mercedes being 8-time Constructors Champions. This seems like a worrying issue for them. But this could also be that Mercedes is sandbagging like old times and they could turn up as winners in the first race with both P1 and P2. And I agree with the opinion, because see, the pecking order, obviously it isn't decided, with many of the teams made a lot of mistakes throughout. So we can say that who is going to perform really well in the first race. But Mercedes not giving the confidence to their own drivers and the drivers having so much doubts over their car seems a worrying issue. We all know that Mercedes is used to making such kind of tricks to deceive the fans and come out as the reigning winners in the races. So we will have to see that how this fares in, because it isn't the only issue that Mercedes is giving, because many of the teams have the technical issues. Even Red Bull has. They say that they're going to improve after the new redesigns. The morale of the drivers is really affected due to this whole reliability issues throughout the testing. So it will affect the performance, I feel. But we have to see that how this works out in the first race. And next week it's gonna be the first race of F1. F1 is back finally. So with this, I'm gonna wrap it up here on the official testing of F1 in Bahrain. And now we are eagerly waiting for the first race. We will have to see how the first race is going to go. So our next episode will cover the tidbits of everything that happens in the first race. And we will have to see how the race turns out, who are the winners. So stay tuned to our podcast, listen to the older episodes, and meet you guys in the next one.